ESL 103 and 203, Language Development, pages 177 to 179. Today's language development is collocations with pay and money. A collocation is two words or more that go together. Collocations are similar to phrasal verbs in that if you say them to a native English speaker, they will know exactly what you're talking about. Number 1, read the definitions, complete the sentences with the correct form of the words in bold. Form of the word means that you may have to change the verb. You might have to do some conjugating to have the sentence make sense grammatically. The first phrase, borrow money, to take money and promise to pay it back later. Again, it's a verb, that's a phrase. If you lose money, it means to have less money than you had before. Careful that lose has one O. The word loose has two O's. Loose is the opposite of tight. We're talking about the verb to lose money. The opposite of lose money is make money, to earn money. If you owe money to someone, you have to pay someone money that you borrowed. To pay a fine, this is a phrase we've covered, means to pay money as a punishment for not obeying a rule or law. A few weeks ago in class, we talked about to pay a fine if you are arrested, if you break the law, and we had some colorful examples of ways that we can break the law, most commonly with driving, right? So if you speed when you're driving, you have to pay a fine. Pay in cash, to pay for something with money, not check, not credit card. Pay off, to pay all of the money that you owe. You might hear this phrase referred to houses and mortgages. Someone may pay off their mortgage so they don't have to pay for their house anymore, or someone can pay off student loans. To raise money is to collect money, often for a charity, save money, to keep money for future use, and spend money. This is something that I do very well, to give money as a payment for something. Complete 1 through 10 on your own. Pause the video now, then press play to reveal the answers. Let's go over the answers. Number 1, my company didn't make money last quarter. Our new products haven't been selling well. Remember, if they ever give you a second sentence, that's because the answer lies within that sentence. So the products have not been selling well, haven't been selling well, they did not make money. Number 2, I never use a credit card. I always pay in cash. What was the context clue here? Never use a credit card. So then they must pay in cash. 3, if you have a lot of debt, remember this is a silent B, debt. If you have a lot of debt, it's a good idea to pay off your loans a little bit every month. So pay off can mean you're completely done paying, like the house is paid for, or you can pay off a little bit here and there, slowly over time. Number 4, Peter had to pay a fine for parking in an illegal place. Just like our class talked about, parking, often associated with paying a fine, is breaking a law with a car. Number 5, investing in the stock market is risky. What does risky mean? You're taking a risk, it's dangerous, it's not safe. If you're not lucky, you might lose money. If it said, if you are lucky, you might make money. But not lucky means you lose money. 6, my brother is going to borrow money from my parents so he can buy a new car. You borrow from someone. 7, we want to save money for our wedding, so we have to reduce our spending. 8, I owe money to my cousin. This is kind of like pronunciation O-O-H. I owe money to my cousin. She lent me $20 for gas last weekend. What is lent the past tense of? Lend. That's an irregular past tense verb. Today I lend. Yesterday she lent. 9, the soccer team is trying to raise money to buy new uniforms. Something sports teams often try to do is raise money by other people. And 10, Maria isn't going on vacation with us because she doesn't want to spend money. She should get a job that pays more. How did you do? present and future real conditionals. You probably already remember the word conditionals. We went over them with would or could. That was a Flipgrid video. If I won the lottery, I would blank. That was a Flipgrid video from a while back. Use present real conditionals to talk about general facts, truths, and habits. So real conditionals are different from our Flipgrid about winning the lottery. That was possibly might happen. Real is using the simple present to say it is a truth, it is a fact. Use if plus simple present if in the if clause. Use the simple present in the main clause. So if plus simple present tense. If people have a lot of money, they are happier. Notice how this is not future, this is simple present. If people have money, they are happier because people have money right now. Use future real conditionals to talk about things that are possible now or in the future and their likely result. Use if plus simple present if the if clause and a future verb form in the main clause. So basically, this is our lottery talk on Flipgrid. If I win the lottery, I will buy a new car. We used conditional as in if I won, future tense. If I did win the lottery, I would. So that's more of a possibility, whereas this is saying if I do win, if this actually happens, real, I will buy a new car. You can also use present and future real conditionals to give advice and suggestions. They are formed with if you in the if clause and an imperative in the main clause. Remember imperatives from a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, when you gave a presentation on fitness and health. And that was one of your quizzes in our class. And you used imperatives to persuade people that they should do something, right? Join today, sign up now. So you can use an imperative here. If you want to be rich, what should you do? Save a lot of money. Let's try them out in exercise 2. Look at the statements. Write A next to the sentence that gives advice or makes a suggestion. So the example here was that. And T next to the sentences that talk about things that are generally true or possible. Number 1, if you want to be a millionaire, don't spend a lot on your house. Notice the end of this, don't spend. Well, here they're saying save, so this is an imperative. It's a negative imperative because it says don't do something, but an imperative nonetheless. So for number 1, we put A. They're giving advice. Don't spend a lot on your house. Number 2, if you don't have to worry about monthly credit card payments, you're less likely to buy things to make you feel better. Is this giving advice? No, they're saying you're less likely to feel a certain way. So this would be T. This is generally true, right? If you don't worry about something, you won't have to buy things to make you feel better. Number 3, if you change houses a lot and live in expensive places, it will be impossible to save money. Is there an imperative here? It will be impossible? No, they're not commanding that you do something. They're not giving advice. They're not saying you should save money. So T. And 4, if you want to comment on these ideas, go to our website. Is this giving advice or telling someone to do something? Yes. Go to our website. 3, the sentences include mistakes. Delete or change one word in each sentence to make it correct. Okay, 1 is actually really problematic. I just looked at the answers and they're saying to cross out you. If you want to spend money, don't buy lots of expensive things. Well, that's not, I think they meant save here. So the book made a mistake. So don't worry about number 1. If you want to save money, don't buy lots of expensive things. They used the wrong word here. Tisk, tisk, tisk. All right, anyway, number 2. If you have time, listened to this radio program. Listened is past tense. Take a look at your chart. Now, none of these are using the past tense. We have simple present, future verb, or imperative. If you have time, listened to this radio program. It sounds like they're giving advice and using an imperative. So cross off the ED. Listen to this radio program. 3, if I have money, I always bought new clothes. Again, this is a problem with the verb. If I have money means possibly, could happen one day. I always bought new clothes, that's the past tense. So obviously the verb is a problem. What should we put in its place? If I have money, I always buy new clothes. Simple present, buy. Number 4, if you will pay off all your debts, you will be happier. It doesn't sound right. Can you identify what sounds incorrect? Which part? If you will pay off all your debts, you will be happier. We don't need 2 wills. And remember that we're following if and simple present. It doesn't say if people have a lot of money, they are happier. We don't need that down here. If you pay off all your debts, if that happens, then you will be happier. Future verb form will. If this happens, you will be happier. Finally, complete the sentences with your own ideas. Just try this on your own. If you want to save money, I'm going to use an imperative here and give advice. Do not shop on Amazon, because I have spent so much money on Amazon.com. I am not saving money right now. I should take this advice. If you want to be rich, then what? If you want to be rich, they give an example here, save a lot of money. Let's be a little bit different. If you want to be rich, put a lot of money in the bank. Specifically, maybe your savings account. Number 3, if you want to get a better job, what could you do? If you want something, if you want to get a better job, what should you do? Let's use an imperative, work hard. And 4, if you wear expensive clothes, now let's use the simple present here. If you wear expensive clothes, simple present, you are fancy. Nice job.